Congratulations! You are born in Corsica in 1769, and life immediately informs you that easy mode is unavailable. Your name is Napoleon. Your mother, Leticia, is formidable. The house is crowded, and for now, your empire is a cradle. One small detail: French troops seized your island only months ago. Politics arrived at your home before you did. Your family is technically noble, but the coin purse appears unimpressed. You have status, just not the budget that usually comes with it. Your starter pack includes 8 siblings, limited money, an occupied island, and a family with more pride than cash. At home you speak Italian and Corsican. French has not yet been added to the menu. Unfortunately, your career will be in France, so French has to load several centuries before anyone invents broadband. At 9, you say goodbye to your family and sail for the mainland. A large part of your childhood stays behind in Ajaccio harbor. Your first mission at Aunen is not combat. It is speaking proper French. For now, pronunciation is your most dangerous weapon. Then you enter Brienne Military School. The stone walls are cold, and the other cadets somehow manage to be colder. They mock your accent, your name, and your modest clothes. Apparently, the official welcome committee took the day off. You retreat from the crowd and hide in books. People are unpredictable. Mathematics, at least, follows rules. You grow strong in geography, history, and artillery mathematics. While others play games, you calculate where cannonballs will land. At 15, you enter the École Militaire in Paris. The poor Corsican boy is now walking through a royal academy. At 16, you are an artillery officer. Most people your age are choosing a career. You have already chosen cannons. Then your father, Carlo, dies. No joke this time. Grief arrives at your door on the same day as the family debts. Your mother, your siblings, and the empty chair all say the same thing. Childhood is over. No one asks if you are ready. Your family's future settles onto your shoulders. History has not made you emperor, but life has already declared you an adult. At Valence and Axon, you master artillery. Mud, gunpowder, and calculation tables become your new daily routine. You send part of your salary home. With what remains, you buy books. Your entertainment budget loses another battle to history. At night, you read history, law, and politics. Instead of adapting to the world, you begin wondering how to rearrange it. Then the French Revolution erupts. The old order goes offline, and nobody has written the manual for the new one. Corsica stands on one side, the French army on the other. You are caught between two identities, trying to choose a future. You break with Paoli, once your hero. The man you admired now stands at the center of the politics, threatening your family. The Bonaparte family flees Corsica. A few trunks, one boat in a deeply uncertain future. An excellent relocation plan. As the island shrinks behind you, the choice is made. You will build your destiny in France. France has not been informed yet. The siege of Toulon is your first serious test. You solve it not with heroic speeches, but by placing artillery on the correct hills. You study the ground, concentrate the batteries, and make the harbor impossible for the British fleet. Mathematics has entered the battlefield. The plan works. At 24, you are a brigadier general. The people who mocked your accents are now learning your name. You discover the rule of the revolutionary age, deliver results, and doors open. Occasionally, the government comes off its hinges too. In 1796, you command the Army of Italy. Your soldiers are hungry, their uniforms are worn, and morale is missing in action. You move fast and strike enemy armies before they can unite. Lodi, Archile, and Rivoli teach Europe to take you seriously. Victory is not enough. You print bulletins and newspapers to manufacture your own legend. You are also the public relations department. You are no longer merely a successful general. Your name fills Paris, giving politicians equal measures of hope and anxiety. With fame secured, you sail for Egypt. Pyramids, scientists, and dreams of empire. Modest ambitions have never really suited you. You win on land. At sea, Nelson destroys the French fleet. Your return ticket suddenly becomes a highly theoretical document. There is revolt in Cairo, failure at Acre, and disease in the army. The Egyptian adventure looks considerably better in the brochure. You leave the army and return to France. Turning a failed expedition into political capital is becoming a special talent. In Paris, the directory is weak and everyone wants a solution. You notice that only a few soldiers separate a solution from power. The coup of 18 Brumaire makes you first consul. The Republic keeps its sign above the door, but you now run the shop. You reorganize finance, education, and administration. France, exhausted by chaos, is pleasantly surprised when things begin to function. But you restrict the press and silence opposition. In the small print of the stability package, liberty becomes rather limited. The civil code stabilizes property and law. Much of Europe will still use its framework long after you are gone. Schools, central administration, and promotion by merit grows stronger. The state is efficient, and by remarkable coincidence, every road leads to you. This order does not mean freedom for everyone. Women's rights shrink, censorship grows, and slavery returns in the colonies. The machine you build is powerful and effective. Every new gear also expands your personal control. On Tessin, December 1804, Notre Dame glows with candles and velvet. The Revolution's artillery officer has reached an imperial ceremony. You crown yourself, then crown Josephine. Once again, you spare everyone the inconvenience of granting you authority. You call it not a return of monarchy, but a new dynasty earned by talent. The crown is familiar. The marketing has been updated. At that moment, you cross the line between republic and empire. There is no visible sign pointing back. At Austerlitz, you convince the Russian and Austrian armies that your right flank is weak. The trap is set. When the enemy moves, you strike the Pratzen Heights and split their center. It is the closest your military career comes to perfection. As the fog lifts, Europe sees your empire's strength. You see that every victory demands more soldiers, more garrisons, and more enemies. You have reached the summit. The small problem with summits is that nearly every available direction leads downward. You dominate much of the continent, placing relatives on thrones and slowly converting Europe into a family business. You build the continental system to strangle Britain through trade. Invading Spain becomes the plan's extremely large footnote. Guerrilla war drains your army. You believe you bring reform. The local population sees an occupier at the door. The more power you pull toward the center, the more anger grows at the edges. The map expands, loyalty does not. In 1812, you invade Russia with the enormous Grande Armée. The plan is simple: quick battle, quick victory. Winter was not invited to the meeting. The Russians retreat and burn their supplies. Distance, disease, and hunger begin destroying your army before the decisive battle even arrives. At Borodino, terrible losses open the road. You enter Moscow to find an empty city in flames. Victory looks strangely uncooperative. The Tsar refuses peace. The capital you captured becomes not a prize but an enormous trap holding you in place. When the retreat begins, the Russian army is no longer your only enemy. Cold, hunger, and collapsing discipline tear the Grande Armée apart. At the Berezina, merely reaching the far bank counts as victory. The army that raced across Europe is now trying simply to survive. You lose at Leipzig and abdicate when France is invaded. Your new position comes with a title, resident of the small island of Elba. Your empire once covered much of a continent. Now its entire map fits comfortably on the wall of a small room. Before 10 months pass, you escape Elba and return to France. You face the soldiers sent to arrest you without a weapon. The soldiers join you, the king flees, and the 100 days begin. Europe's most unexpected sequel is now in theaters. In Belgium, you plan to defeat Wellington and Blücher before they unite. One last attempt at the old formula. But your body, your officers, and your communications are slower now. History is repeating itself with a noticeably tired cast. On 18 June, the ground at Waterloo is heavy with rain. The attack is delayed, while Wellington waits behind the ridge. As French attacks break apart, the Prussians reach your flank. The Imperial Guard advances as your final card, and it too is stopped. The army disintegrates. You know this is not an ordinary defeat. The door on the entire story is closing. Days later, you abdicate again. This time, there will be no comeback campaign, no sequel, and no surprise ending. Your final address is St. Helena in the South Atlantic. Under rain, wind, and surveillance, you disappear from the map you once reshaped. As your walks grow shorter, you dictate your memories and edit your legend one final time. The public relations department remains open. You die on 5 May 1821, leaving laws, institutions, wars that shook millions, and an argument that never truly ends. If you had been Napoleon, one question would remain. Did you use history, or had history been using you all along?